Okay, we're going to take a look at Money Talks, the rest of the song. I know I did a quick little intro tutorial, but now I want to take a deeper dive and actually take a look at what's going on throughout the verse. I want to do this a little differently too. I want to listen to his isolated tracks, and I want to hear exactly what he's doing and talk about it, and then compare it to the live version versus the studio version, etc. It should be fun. So anyway, here we go. So the verse. So it's really straightforward. He's just holding out the G, like holding it out and hitting it twice. And that slide is on the A string, first fret, up to the second fret, and then hit the G again. And it's more of a not. It's pretty quick. And a lot of people have been saying that he doesn't do that slide, and he does do it on the record. It's clearly done right here. And it gives it that flavor. He doesn't do it in the live version, which we'll take a look at, but it gives it a little... It's bluesy, and it's a really good exercise in not overplaying. You know, in the live version, I think we'll notice some differences, and he supports the track in the live environment by playing a little bit harder and elevating his playing. But here it's really simple. It's just... You know, there's no ghost notes, there's nothing. He's just holding these chords out. And what a great G chord sound he has. It's just, it's big and open and powerful. Then he goes to the D here. And that slide is third fret of the D string to the fourth fret. And then open. It sounds to me like he's not hitting the A string here. He's just to really emphasize the D on here, you know, like it's not thickening it up. It's just a pure essential D chord, which is pretty cool. So he does that. So then he's going to go to the C. And it sounds to me like he's going. Or something like that. I'm not sure the exact fingering he's using. It's kind of weird to play no matter how you do it. It's a hard part. It's probably the hardest part of the verse to me, and we do it live. And I'm still like stumbling over myself trying to, you know, play it perfectly in time. But what it sounds like is a C power chord with your pinky on the 5th fret of the G string. And then a slide on the 1st fret of the D string into the 2nd fret. And then hit that C again. And it's tough to get that down. It's like kind of a fast little riff to do that, but that's what I think he's doing, and that's how I do it. So it's maybe not exact, but and so we're gonna have to look at the live version and see if that stays the same. But then the chorus comes along, and we're back to the verse. Still just holding those out. So obviously this is a really simple song, and I think the emphasis of this verse for this is like just the simplicity of it. You don't want to overplay. And even like one ghost note here to get it to sound like the record if you're doing this. Hear how I'm just hitting it lightly? It's still more than he's doing, and that's why his decision making was just awesome. Like, it was just perfect, you know? And so he had the ability to never overplay and just play exactly what the song needed, and I think this is a great emphasis. This is a great emphasis on that. So let's get to the solo section. Just D. He might even hammer on the first finger every so often. Then back to the G. You can hear a little of Angus's guitar on this, but he's still... And that's the beauty of Malcolm on this part. It's like he's really not doing much. And this is like, you know, someone might say it's too simple, blah, but like, no, this is like, this is where it matters most, to not overplay. This is like a huge key part of this song, that there's not that much going on. And so even when that part comes back in the end here, it's still just held. And that's the end. So I dare say it's pretty straightforward, and there isn't a ton that I can teach on this version, but I think the live version is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to load it up now, and we're going to take a look at it. And obviously, you know, what I'm doing here is a quick and dirty tutorial. It's not meant to be exhaustive, but I did the intro in a quick fashion, so I want to just get this out there so we can discuss this. And I think this is actually going to be particularly interesting to talk through some of these differences. So let's just hear what's going on here. Let's get to the verse right away. It's already way different. This is probably the version I prefer. So anyway, let's dive into this. You can hear he is hitting a ghost note and a chunk. And so let's dive into what he's actually doing. Same G, and then a chunk. And then, as you know, we talked about before, he's not doing that slide. And this version is more of an exercise in when to actually cut the chord off. You don't want it to be even a second too long, or it's gonna throw it off a little bit. Listen to how precise it is. It's just super tight and super on. So it's a totally different flavor of the song, but the funny thing is it's still kind of, you know, it's still the exact same riff, but yeah, like a different flavor, which is cool because they do that all the time, especially in songs that they hadn't played in a long time, like Girls Got Rhythm. That is completely different live versus in the studio, which is interesting, especially in their later years. But anyway, and it's kind of just a general chunk. I know that sounds goofy, but I would emphasize the low E. And let's get to the next chords here. That's interesting. So he's going back to the slide on the D. So he goes from this. So he is hitting that. Which is interesting. And so let's get to the C now. This will be interesting to hear. Listen to that. That's totally different. It sounds like he's doing this, and it's pretty weird, but I feel like this is actually it. Sounds like he's hammering on the second fret of the D string and hitting the G string. I think that might be it. It's weird. It's not exactly what I thought. And this is all like me doing it for the first time after years of listening to this, so it's interesting. He could be slight. It sounds. It sounds more like a hammer-on to me than the. Man, I gotta cover this one. That's fun to play. It sounds almost like a Rolling Stones riff. It might not be exactly, but it sounds right. So that would be the C. And then that hammer-on. Keep in mind, every chord he's playing has that chunk in there, so. And so it's all chunked and it's all like stutter stepped and it's completely different. But that's kind of blowing my mind. It's a cool little riff there. Wild, you learn something new every day. And this is what I do when I make these lessons. I go back and re-listen to this stuff and learn more about them as I go, and then I compile it into a lesson. But I wanted to just take you guys along for the journey for this one, and show you that, like, you know, it doesn't come innately. I'm learning as I do it. I'm not like some all-knowing entity. I'm just trying my best here and hearing what I think makes sense. So that's really interesting. And the chorus is the same old chorus pretty much that we talked about the original time. Let's get back to the second verse. Same old chunk. You know, I wonder why he did that. Why he doesn't do the slide on the live version. Maybe it's like, I don't think it's because it's harder or easier to play or anything like that, a logistical reason. I think he probably just liked how it sounded. I think it adds some edge to the song. Otherwise, it might have been a little on the happy side. I'm not saying the songs can't be happy, but it just adds a little balls to it, for lack of a better term. So I want to get to the solo here now and see what we're working with. Same chunks, same exact riff as the verse so far. Same as the verse. I thought that there may have been an elevation from the to something like, but there isn't. It's just pure. And that's, again, the beauty of Malcolm. Sometimes he lifts the song and it gets crazy and wild and it's nuts. But in this case, he's reeling in it and keeping it tight and contained. And I think that's partially why this works so well, because it's just super on. The drums are just poof, ka, poof, ka. There's not like, the hi-hat is on the quarter note, which is interesting. So he's really locking into that. So if I had to emphasize anything in this song, it would be the tightness. You got to stay. And Chris Slade's playing helps here. I know that Phil's the guy, we all agree, but Chris Slade is on the click, on the beat in this. and it helps Malcolm lock in. And I think that there's certain songs that don't sound as good without Chris Slade. Chris's playing, I think, helps Malcolm stay tight in a song like this. And I think with Phil or another drummer, you might lose some of that. And it's, you know, I think there's certain songs like Thunderstruck and this one and all of the Razor's Edge that sound and would sound better with Chris than Phil. And I personally think that Thunderstruck sounds better with Chris tenfold. I think it's, I almost feel like, you know, it's half as good with Phil. Not because he's a bad drummer, but because the feel of the song should be rigid and not have as much swing, because that's, I feel like, where the riffs sit. And this is another example of that. So anyway, I hope I didn't ramble too much. There's a lot of activity going on in my house right now. Things are falling apart. I'm getting ready to move, and things are just getting wild. So I'm trying to release these videos quick and do them, get them out there so you guys can have something. And hopefully once we get this move situated and figured out, things will be a little bit more back to the old way. But if you like this style, let me know. I don't know, you know, how much was new to you guys or how much you learned, but I enjoyed giving my insights on it in a quick and easy to digest way where we can listen along to it together. And maybe I'll do a live stream version of this someday where we're listening to these riffs and just hearing, playing along with them together. Maybe that would be fun. So anyway, subscribing really does help. You know, it sounds annoying, but it's making a huge difference in this channel. It's the support, it means everything to me, and just logistically, it helps the channel grow and helps me sustain it, as well as the Patreon, which is not necessary, but there's fun stuff going on. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this wasn't too quick. Let me know if there's another song you want to see a tutorial of. I have a long list, and I'm able to do like 2 days a week of filming right now, so it takes me a while. Don't get discouraged if you don't see your suggestion. I have it on the list, and it is coming. So for now, thank you.